In this problem, we want to multiply the number 223 in base 6 by the number 24, also in base 6. And so we want to keep in mind all the time that both the multiplication and adding are all going to need to take place in base 6. So I start off with 3 times 4. Now, I multiply that in base 10, and I get the number 12. But we're going to then need to convert this to base 6. So I make a little base 6 chart, and I have 2 groups of 6 in 12 and 0 left over. So I bring down the 0 and carry the 2. Next, I'll do 4 times 2 plus the 2 I carried. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. And again, I convert that to base 6. So there's 1 group of 6 and 4 left over. So I bring down the 4 and carry the 1. And now I have 4 times 2 plus 1. And that gives me 9, which converted to base 6 is 1 6 and 3 1s. So I bring down the 3 and I put the 1 next to it. Now, in the next row, I'm going to skip the first entry because we're starting with a 2 in the 6's place. So I multiply 2 times 3 and I get 6, which since that's our base number, there's 1 group of 6 and 0 1s. So the base number always looks like 10. It's got a 1 and a 0. I'm going to erase what I had before there so I can carry that 1. And now I have 2 times 2 plus 1. And that makes 5. And 5 is a legal base 6 number, so we just bring down a 5. And then 2 times 2 is 4, and that's also a legal base 6 number. So now I need to add. 0 is just 0. 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 5. All right, now this is 8. And in base 6, that's 1 group of 6 and 2 left over. Carry 1 over. And 4 plus 1 is 6. And of course, that is 1 0. So my final answer here is 10240, base 6. Let's take a look at multiplication in base 12. All right, here I have the number 824 in base 12 times the number B9 in base 12. So I'm going to go about this in a similar way. And what I want to write off to the side is that A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 11. Okie dokie. So 9 times 4 is 36. And now we're working in base 12. I almost did base 6. You got to be really careful about that. When you switch from question to question, remind yourself all the time what base you're working in. Sometimes I'll just write it base 12, just to remember. Okay. So in there's 3 groups of 12 and 36, and there's 0 left over. So I'm going to carry the 3, put the 0 down there. Then I have 9 times 2 plus 3, and that makes 21 in base 10. But in base 12, oops, 1's place. Let's see, that's 1 group of 12, and 21 minus 12 is 9. So there's 9 left over. So there's a 9, and a 1 is carrying over to the next place value. And then we have 9 times 8 plus 1. And that is 73. And so in base 12, let's see, there'll be 6 groups of 12 and 1 left over. So I've got 6190 so far. And now I have to multiply by B, which is 11. All right, so I'm just going to write 11. 11 times 4 is 44. But in base 12, that is 3 groups of 12. And 3 groups of 12 is 36. And 8 left over. Okay, so the 8 comes down. And the 3 carries over. And now I have 11 times 2 plus 3 is 25. And in base 12, that's 2 groups of 12 and 1 left over. So I bring down the 1, carry the 2, and 11 times 8 plus 2. And that's 88 plus 2 is 90. And what would that be in base 12? Let's see. 7 times 12 is 84, so we're going to have 7 12s and 6 left over. So that's a 6, that's a 7. Boom. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to add, and I get 0, 9, and 8 makes 17, which in base 12 is one group of 12 and 5 left over. So I bring down a 5 and carry the 1, and then I have 1 and 1 and 1, which is 3. 6 and 6 makes 12. Since we're in base 12, that is one group of 12 and 0 left over. And then 9 and 8 make, 7 and 1 make 8. Okay, so we have 80350. Base 12 is my final answer there. And that's how you do those problems.